welcome to the Autumn 2016 edition of RossenTales. This is the quarterly newsletter for the Rossendale Trust, and we aim to keep you in touch with everything that's been going on for the last 3 months, inside and outside the Trust. Please get in touch if you want to make any changes or if you've got any suggestions about other things we might add to this. We hope you enjoy the audio version of RossenTales.
Bank Street opening. This summer, the Trust has opened a new service in Macclesfield, providing care and support to 4 new tenants in a bungalow opposite Canal Side View on Bank Street. We are constantly made aware of the need to provide long-term suitable accommodation for vulnerable adults in the community. Many families and relatives contact the Trust, and we have an active register of interest, which consists of the people who wish to be considered when vacancies occur. All of the new tenants at Bank Street are enjoying their new lives and adjusting to the changes, opportunities and friendships which have opened up for them. Together with the service which we have taken on at Walker Lane in Sutton, this means that the Trust will be providing care and support to 6 tenants new to the Trust this year.
Rosendale Beer. Rosendale Gold Premium Ale is available at St Dunstan in Langley, Winkle Brewery and many more locations soon. 10 pence from every pint sold will come to the Trust. Blue skies and barbecue. The Rosendale Summer Fete is always one of the great family days of the year, and this year was no exception. By good fortune, it was a sunny day on August the 7th, and 1,000 friends, families, tenants and staff enjoyed all the traditional pleasures: cream teas, a prize raffle, a beer tent, barbecue, ice creams, live music, plus many stalls and attractions. The Fete is also the day of the year when all of the supporters of the Trust gather in the gardens at Rosendale Hall and catch up on the news, this year sitting in the sunshine. The Fete is also the day of the year when all the supporters of the Trust gather in the gardens at Rosendale Hall and catch up on the news, this year sitting in the sunshine. Our head of fundraising, Sue Heaven, said, "It was wonderful seeing so many people coming to support the Trust. The money raised will be used to directly help the tenants in so many ways. Thank you to everyone who helped make it such a great day, including local businesses and so many volunteers. We simply could not have done it without you." Many of the tenants from across the Trust were also there to enjoy the day, and as well as being a great social event, the Fete is also a vital fundraiser for the Trust. This year's Fete raised more than £8,500 for the Tenants Activity Fund, which will be used to enable the people cared for by the Trust to live more independently as part of the community around them.
Farewell to Helen. We recently said farewell to Helen Broadhead, who has worked as the Family Liaison Officer for the Trust for 4.5 years, the first person to have that role at Rossendale. During that time, Helen has become an indispensable part of the management team, working between the tenants, the care staff, the local authorities and the management team to ensure that the tenants are receiving the budgets which have been agreed for their care and support, as well as working with families in all aspects of our service. As well as that, she's been involved in most things that have happened here: fashion shows, the Fete, writing applications for business awards. She will be sorely missed by the tenants, the families and all of us in the management team. Her honesty, clarity and her combative stance at times in defending the rights of the tenants will be missed by the local authorities as well. Helen is retiring, but she's not going to disappear from Rossendale's life and will no doubt be willingly roped into events in the future. We've been fortunate enough to replace Helen with Andrea Hill, who worked alongside Helen for several weeks. Andrea is a very experienced manager who already knows many of our tenants and staff. I am sure that she will carry forward the great work which Helen has been doing in this critical role at the Trust.
Eleanor interviews Zoe. Eleanor Dobson, one of 2 tenants living at Walker Lane in Sutton, finds out all about Zoe Williams, group leader for the house. How long have you worked at Rossendale?
About 5.5 years.
Where did you work before?
I had a pub, but before that I worked for Cheshire East Council for a number of years.
Do you like it here?
Yes, I do.
Even the bits in the office?
Yes, although it's nicer working in people's homes.
Do you like working with me and Joanne at Walker Lane?
Yes, it's been lovely getting to know you both and a different staff team. It's really nice how you've chosen to join Oakwood and have been spending time with your friends who live within the Trust.
Do you like cooking?
Yes, I cook a lot at home.
Do you like to eat healthily?
Yes, but I also love chocolate and crisps.
What's your favourite food?
Greek or Japanese?
Do you like takeaways?
Yes, definitely. Who doesn't? I like Chinese, pizza and Indian.
Do you like taking your dog for a walk?
Yes, although he only goes for short ones.
Do you go to the gym?
I try to go swimming in my spare time to try and stay a little healthy.
What sports do you like? Do you like football?
No, not really. I do like to play tennis and badminton though.
Do you like reading, writing or going on the computer?
I love to read and I spend time playing on games on the computer, and I've just finished my level 5 diploma, which was hard work.
Did you like going to the cinema with me and Joanne last week?
Yes, it was great, and the BFG was very funny, especially when it made you both jump.
Do you like going to the discos with me and Joanne?
Yes, I like to see everyone having fun with their friends.
Have you got lots of friends?
I have a few close friends who I like to spend time with, mainly eating.
Do you like music?
Yes, I like a bit of everything really, and I like to sing along to the radio in the car.
Goodwood. The Oakwood Woodwork Group were recently commissioned to create a unique freestanding planter to be used to create a private garden space. They really got stuck into the large-scale project, and the feedback was that everyone enjoyed embarking on such a big project. Each session the team attended over a couple of weeks was a matter of carrying on with the job in hand, instead of starting something new. Emma is one of the new woodworkers. She played a major role in the project and said, "I enjoyed working the big project. It's a bit more work. I like making things for people and working in woodwork. It's great."
Harold in profile. Harold Gormley, a tenant in apartment 6 in Riverside, has recently celebrated his 88th birthday and has lived at Rossendale for 35 of those years. So we thought it was high time to gather a few memories of Harold, our oldest and much loved tenant. I remember Harold's 80th birthday when he had a marquee on the lawn and I think an Elvis impersonator. I can also picture Marion and Malcolm dancing to the music. There were lots of people there, both tenants and people connected with the Trust. There was also a holiday I remember in Portmaddock. Harold was just a pleasure to be with. He didn't mind what we were doing and never complained, even on the long journey. I used to take the veg for tea into his bedroom so that we could peel them all together. That's from Petra Smith, who's a group leader in Riverside. I first met Harold when he enrolled on my college course at Macclesfield College. He was a very enthusiastic student. He really enjoyed all the activities, but mostly interacting with the others in the group. I was then very involved as an advocate when Harold left hospital, and I'm glad to say that through a lot of perseverance we were able to get a settlement that has enabled Harold to have a reasonable life since that time. He is an example to all as someone who will carry on smiling and chatting through everything. Wonderful man. That's from Maggie Harwood, one of our trustees. The perfect gentleman, always a smile. Harold has always been a big fan of steam trains and police cars. He loved his Butlins holidays, carriage riding with Christine and gardening with Oakwood. I remember two things about Harold's surgery many years ago. The first, his bravery throughout, always a smile, always a concern for everyone else. The nurses cried when we finally brought him home from hospital. And second, the sheer dedication of the staff when he returned. Without doubt, the staff then and now are the reason that Harold is here and having the lovely life that he does. That's from Louise Coles, who is our quality manager. And the last one from Terry Booth, who is one of Harold's PAs. I've now been supporting Harold in my role for 18 months. I can only say what a privilege it is to support a gent who holds such a courageous and positive attitude in his everyday life. I'm always amazed when out and about with Harold how many people approach and greet him. He's so well known and admired by so many people from his present and past life. Harold is a well-known participant at local church services where he enjoys greeting and having coffee with his friends. He also likes to go to Buxton Pavilion, just relaxing in the gardens or listening at the bandstand. And of course, such activities would not be complete for him without visiting the pub for his favourite tipple and a bit of pub grub. Harold's kind and friendly personality always brightens up the moment for everyone he meets. Our team continue working with Harold, developing and supporting his senior lifestyle, ensuring he maintains the activities he so much enjoys, staying in contact with his friends and colleagues who over the years have made such a difference to his life.
Why fundraising? The fee income we receive from the local authorities covers the baseline care of our tenants. The extras in the lives of the people in our care are what we raise extra funds to support. This can range from trips out to help in pursuing their hobbies and interests, for extra equipment to assist learning and greater understanding, like computers, or comfortable outdoor seating to enjoy and relax in. Every pound matters and every pound counts. We thank you all for your generosity.
Going the extra mile. Jeanette Hull had two very good reasons for cycling 1,000 miles. She wanted to celebrate her 60th birthday and she wanted to support a local charity. And she succeeded in both aims, completing the huge ride from Land's End to John O'Groats safely and fundraising for the Rosendale Trust with every drop of sweat. The 1,035-mile, 18-day journey was a massive test for Jeanette, who lives in Bosley near Macclesfield. She cycled on average 60 miles a day and climbed the equivalent of Everest 2.5 times. The money Jeanette has raised will be used to support Rosendale's Work Taste scheme. This project enables people at the Trust to undertake short-term work placements with local companies and organisations. The scheme gives the Rosendale tenants the chance to work as part of a team, building confidence and breaking down barriers at the same time. Jeanette said, "The pure joy of completing such a challenge was incredible, but knowing how life-changing the funds raised are for the Trust and Work Taste means more." We can't thank Jeanette enough for her amazing cycle ride. She's raised almost £1,000 so far, which will pay for 2 Work Taste placements for 3 months.
Work Taste. Some feedback. The Work Taste scheme gives our tenants a chance to experience the workplace, to be part of a team and to gain confidence in their own abilities in all sorts of settings in the community. But Work Taste is more than that. Setting up a successful placement for one of our tenants means building a good relationship with the employer and with the other members of the staff who work with our tenant. So what's it like for them? Here's a small selection of the reactions and comments which have been coming in from managers, employers, organisers and work colleagues since the scheme started 2.5 years ago. This is from an auto parts sales organisation. Ash seems to know his job really well now and does everything that's expected of him. I don't think I would change anything about this placement. The workforce really do treat Ash like part of the team, and I can tell he feels really valued. And from a stables? Alison did all that was asked of her and seemed to really enjoy it. Pam was very impressed with her willingness to get stuck in. And now some words from a large retailer in town. A shop customer went to the manager and praised the aisle where Adam had been working on. Excellent day today. He worked on replenishment with us, very hard working and keen to learn. He picked up the job quickly and was a pleasure to work with. And now from Congleton Museum, where there is a scanning project that we've been working with. Richard was very thorough. He tried hard to position the slides the right way up, which was tricky because the writing on the case of the slides was often written with the slide upside down. Now some comments from a charity shop. Sarah helped to sort out children's clothing, throwing away some and folding others neatly. She was very helpful and happy today and seems to be enjoying her time here. We're very pleased to have her on our team. And some last words from the Streetwise Cafe. Gareth and Alex, who is a work taste coach, we'll come back to him in a bit, attended the Streetwise Cafe today. They helped with setting up the crockery and the food, as well as washing up and drying up. They're a real asset to the group. They integrate well and they're a valuable part of our team.
The Work Taste Coach. Alex Whitaker is one of the team of work taste coaches who support our tenants to take up job placements in the community. So how is he finding the role? When did you join the work taste scheme as a coach?
I joined in March, 5 months ago.
What were you doing job-wise when you decided to apply?
Well, I had just finished my university course. I had a weekend job, but I was looking for something more.
Where did you see the job advertised?
Well, funnily enough, there was a poster in the bus shelter near my house.
Why did you decide to apply?
I thought that the pay was reasonable, and I wanted a job working with people.
Are you enjoying working for the Rosendale Trust?
I am definitely enjoying it. I've been paired with some great tenants, and everyone is really friendly. It's a great job without too much paperwork. Rossendale has a very down-to-earth management style, and they're keen to embrace new technology.
Do you plan on staying with the Trust?
Yes, I love being a work taste coach, and I'm looking at building my career here. Meet the trustee. This time, Mike Smith. I live in Titherington with my wife, Julie, and second son, Philip. Our eldest son, Paul, is a tenant in Rose Gardens. Our third son, David, lives in London, and our daughter, Rachel, also lives in Titherington with her daughter, Ellie. I am one of the church elders at Titherington Family Worship, where I regularly speak and play bass guitar or drums in the music band. I also play guitar or drums in a swing band at work and guitar or drums in a couple of ceilidh bands. I've been a trustee at Rossendale Trust for 4 years. I've worked in the computer business for nearly 40 years, covering many different aspects, including programming, systems analysis and consultancy. I currently work for Fujitsu, where I became a chartered engineer some 20 years ago. My role today is much more about management, but I still retain some technical skills, which I have brought to bear recently in writing the 100 Club spreadsheet for Rossendale. After Julie and I moved to Macclesfield, my sister had her first child, who has Down syndrome. At the same time, 2 other children at that hospital were also born with Downs, but my sister was the only one to take her daughter home. This was one of several influences that led us to adopt Paul and then Philip. During that time we were told that it was extremely unlikely that we could have children of our own. Despite that, we went on to have 2 of our own anyway. So, some involvement with learning disability has been a feature of most of our married life. Julie was one of the founding trustees of Friends for Leisure in Macclesfield, and we were local representatives of the Down Syndrome Association for several years. I became a trustee at Rossendale because Mike Frost asked me to. During the time that Paul moved into Rose Gardens, I ran a series of meetings for parents of other residents moving in, so becoming a trustee seemed a logical step. I think that a good trustee is someone who has the skills to help the organisation run to the necessary standards, but more importantly, someone able to relate the business operations and decisions to the day-to-day lives of the tenants. These are some of my favourite things. I enjoyed meeting Paul's flatmates and the other tenants. The staff are superb and the management team work very hard to exceptionally high standards. For me, it's a privilege to be part of all this, and I know that Paul is very happy at the Trust. That's the end of this edition of RossenTales. We hope you've enjoyed it. If you've got any thoughts and ideas, please bring them into the hall to Carl or to Sue. In the meantime, carry on listening and we'll be back again in 3 months' time. We hope you've enjoyed it.